The wildest Star Wars leaks yet have hit the web. These ones sort of disprove things that were in the previous plot leaks and talk about some crazy stuff when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy and Kevin Feige. Buckle up, Star Wars fans. This is going to be a bumpy ride.
It's like the news, but for nerds.
Today's shout out goes to Gerard Wu 10. Jack Napier was indeed the name of Jack Nicholson's Joker. Make sure you stay to the end of this video where we will ask another nerd card question. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. I am Josh and welcome back to the show. And man, oh man, this is gonna be a spicy Star Wars show today. All right, no time to waste. Let's jump right into this craziness. We've got more Star Wars leaks, and I'm not lying when I say these are the wildest leaks yet, and they have really set a lot of people off in the fan base. Now, by now you've probably heard of the Jedi Paxis plot leaks. This guy has leaked on Reddit basically Act 1 and Act 2 and Act 3 of the coming Star Wars movie, Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And this guy's leaks have been corroborated by a lot of other leakers out there, including Bespin Bulletin, Bantha Tracks, and Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And I've seen a lot of people in the comment section on my videos when we talk about these leaks saying that they don't believe these leaks. Some people are actually angry about these leaks, and there is even a group of people out there that are of the mind that these leaks are completely fake and that there's never been accurate Star Wars leaks before, and so we should not even believe anybody who claims to be a leaker out there when it comes to The Rise of Skywalker. And regardless of how we got to this place within the fandom, it's literally this thing right now where I see a bunch of people out there ready to jump on any of these leakers the moment something comes up to sort of disprove their leaks. And we recently got a bunch of that. We got some of these same leakers coming out and saying that, yeah, some of this stuff is changing now. They're hearing things are being changed by the reshoots and things are not going to go down the way that they had previously reported it. And the Star Wars community freaked out for the most part on these different people, and a lot of this anger and just, I don't know, like frustrations, I guess, with the leaks and with leaking in general just all came out, and basically like Jedi Paxis and Jason Ward and some of these other leakers are really kind of being attacked on Reddit and on Twitter and different places like this. It's kind of crazy. And so now let's talk about the big changes in the plot leaks. I'm gonna assume you have seen the Jedi Paxis plot leaks and what they entail. If not, go watch the previous videos that we've done on them. We break it down all pretty succinctly, but I'm gonna talk about the changes now. And the big personalities involved with this are Jason Ward and this Jedi Paxis person, because they are the most notable voices when it comes to this current plot leak, and they're also the people coming out talking about how it is changing. So a lot of the info is coming from those two. Okay, so most notably, the beginning of the film has changed. It was previously reported that we're going to start this movie with a flashback scene with young Leia and Luke Skywalker, a young Luke Skywalker, training on Endor, that they're going to be battling with the lightsabers, and it was going to be this flashback sequence of sorts where Leia is remembering this thing, and then it goes to a scene where Leia is training Rey. Well, apparently that's all gone. What? Now, instead of that, the opening shot is going to show Exegol and perhaps the Sith fleet, and it'll have a voiceover attached to it where Luke Skywalker is telling a story to Rey. And I'm kind of confused on whether or not the Leia part of this is still going to be intact. It kind of seems like that's being scrapped as well, and instead we will see a scene where Rey is being trained by Luke Skywalker, either as a Force ghost or via voice or something like that. So it seems like that's the way the beginning of the film is going to go now. So wildly different than the flashback sequences with young Luke and young Leia. Now, apparently all of Luke Skywalker's scenes for The Rise of Skywalker, and this I think is primarily coming from Jedi Paxis, although I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm starting to get a little confused on like where this stuff is coming from and who is saying it, but I believe this is coming from Paxis, and he said that all of the Luke Skywalker stuff for The Rise of Skywalker is being reshot.
Don't give me hope.
And the end of the film is being wildly reimagined. And this is very interesting because I believe this for a number of different reasons, but you know, both Paxis and Jason Ward are saying that they're changing the ending of the film quite a bit, and I'm gonna get into the details in just a minute, but also it's important to mention that when asked about where he is at with the movie, JJ was specifically talking about the final sequence of this film, this very important sequence that he was still really struggling with how to put it together. I think this is the end scene, the battle with Palpatine and Rey, the Knights of Ren, and Kylo Ren. So whatever this scene is, JJ's already spoken to the fact that, yeah, he's really kind of struggling with it, so it would make sense that they're changing that scene quite a bit. So originally, or according to the Jedi Paxis leaks and the Jason Ward stuff, there was going to be a scene where Kylo Ren fights off the Knights of Ren, but he has no lightsaber, right? He's just literally going to use the Force, and I've heard that maybe he was going to be getting beat up by the Knights of Ren at first, and then he, you know, just has this crazy Jedi type moment, and he literally like John Wicks them with the Force, which would be absolutely amazing. But apparently that scene is now being changed to where somehow Rey is going to give Kylo Ren Anakin's lightsaber, and he's going to fight them with Anakin's lightsaber. Now, that's cool. I'll speculate on what I think about all this towards the end of the movie, but that is something that's being talked about as a big change. Also, Luke and Leia were apparently going to show up as Force ghosts at the end of this movie and sort of give energy to Rey, sort of revitalize her after all of her Force powers are siphoned off by Palpatine, and apparently that's being changed too. There's not going to be Force ghosts at all, or I guess, and now it's going to be just all these different Jedi that are showing up to help her, and you can hear the voices of different Jedi. Like Paxis even said maybe Obi-Wan and Ahsoka might show up. I mean, I didn't see anything about them putting Anakin into this scene, but like, come on, you got to have Anakin's voice. If you're doing voice things here and just bringing all these Jedi to help Rey, you got to put Anakin in there. I think it just makes sense. The fans want it. But yeah, so those are the big things that are being talked about as changes, but both Jason and Jedi Paxis are saying that like there's a lot of reshoots going on right now. Like a lot of this film could be changing in the next couple of months before it is released. So I don't know, like where does that leave us as a fan base, right? So let's now get into some of my thoughts about what is actually going on here. Now this is my personal take here, but I gotta tell you how I feel. I do not believe that Jedi Paxis and Jason Ward, particularly Jason Ward, are like full of crap. I don't think they're making this stuff up. Definitely don't believe that. Particularly with Jason, he's gotten way too many things right. His track record is pretty good. Of course, he's gotten things wrong and things change when it comes to films and stuff. So I can see how the perception out there would be that it's wrong. I find it kind of interesting that so many people are like not believing these guys, but then when they come forward to say that they're even wrong, that the things are changing and it lines up with reshoots that we know are happening, people are really willing to believe that from them, thinking they're trying to cover their tracks, but not believe that they knew anything in the first place. It's kind of weird. So I don't think they're full of crap. That's just me though. I think at this point we know the reshoots are real and we know that a lot of stuff is changing, and you know, if that Doomcock scoop is to be believed, and no, I'm not just bringing Doomcock up again because I love saying Doomcock. How dare you think that of me? But yeah, if Doomcock is to be believed, then a lot of these reshoots are CGI heavy, that they're like getting a ton of reworking done with CGI, which implies that it's a big kind of impactful scene that is being changed, something with a lot of VFX, maybe the end of the movie. Like it kind of all makes sense. They're changing a lot of the end of the movie, so I believe that. Now there's a couple other interesting questions here that a lot of fans are asking, and let me know what you're thinking about this in the comment section. But fans are like, could this all be Disney just playing these leakers, right? Could this be a thing where Disney has finally figured out how to throw people off the scent when it comes to leaking? And my honest answer is maybe, and I think it's awesome. If this is true, and if Disney has really figured this out, I'm a huge freaking fan of this, because although I like leaks and I love, you know, looking at how things will play out and getting little tidbits of information, and really, I like prognosticating, like based on context and what I think a story should do, like what will happen. That's the enjoyment I get out of it. But ultimately, I don't want the experience of the film to be ruined. So I would love it. Like I have zero problem dedicating hundreds of videos to leaks that end up not being true. I have no problem with that. That would be amazing because we'd make all this content, we'd have a lot of fun, and then ultimately I'd still be surprised in the theater. I'm a fan of that. So could it be that Disney's doing that? Yes, it could be, and I would like it. A lot of other people are saying this is Disney testing. They're leaking things out through Paxis and perhaps even through Jason, and they're testing how audiences are responding to things. And look, these things have been responded to pretty strongly. You know, I get the sense that not a lot of people are down with these leaks. I like them, I think they're cool, but I get the sense that not a lot of people are down. So could it be a thing that Disney is putting these leaks out there and then making last minute changes? Like it could absolutely be that. But if they're doing that, they should have done this like 6 months ago. Like this is cutting it pretty freaking close here. Like I'm starting to get a little nervous for the integrity of the movie in general if they're doing this much reshooting and changing leading up this close to the release of the film. Frankly, this puts us in a beautiful place as a fan base because we have some ideas of how things are going. Some people are excited about it, you know, some people are not so excited about it, but we also have a lot of reshoots happening and a lot of doubt out there, so we don't know what to believe. Like, literally, I talked to people at New York Comic Con over the weekend and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I know the entire plot of The Rise of Skywalker. People are like asking me how I feel about the plot leaks and I'm like, oh, it's cool, but kind of feel like I know how the whole movie will go. And now I don't. Like, now I have a ton of doubt. Now I have a ton of questions, ton of confusion about how things could happen. Particularly the fact that they're reshooting all of the Luke stuff. If that is true, that intrigues me a lot. I'm really hoping we get some very interesting Luke stuff here. So who knows? I mean, I think it literally leaves us in a very good spot as a fan base with regards to what to expect in The Rise of Skywalker, but that's just me. Now let's get into another really juicy tidbit. This is coming from Jason Ward. This was revealed in his podcast released yesterday, I believe. I saw the cliff notes on Reddit. Basically, he is talking about how Kathleen Kennedy will step down as the president of Lucasfilm after Indiana Jones 5 comes out, and that Kevin Feige will be put in charge of Lucasfilm, but will also have a ton of other people just in charge of other, things within the company, other film and production pieces. Like, for instance, Michelle Rejwan, who was just brought in by Kathy to be in charge of live action development. I think she might still keep her job and be in charge of that, but then now work under Kevin Feige. Like, that is what Jason's saying out there. Now, I think it's important to note here that he just has heard this. I don't think this is a verified rumor. I don't think this is something we should really put a lot of stake in, but it's not the first time I've heard something similar to this as well, and it kind of makes sense. I, in fact, actually reported on this possibility like 2 years ago. 2 years ago when there were all those rumors. Remember those rumors that was like, Kathy Kennedy's gonna step down in September, and we were all like, okay, well, what's gonna happen next? I actually made a video speculating that if that did happen, if she did step down, that Kevin Feige would come over and run Lucasfilm, because he's done so much with the MCU. I could see him kind of having his swan song over there, putting some stuff into place, and then sort of leaving and doing Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars is not only the thing he loves, but it's the thing the company needs most badly to be improved. So yeah, Jason's reporting that Kevin Feige, that he's hearing that Kevin Feige will replace Kathy Kennedy as the president of Lucasfilm. And frankly, I'm very freaking excited about that. So a little bit of an understated like end note to these crazy leaks, but man, if this is true, this could upset a lot of people, and this could make a lot of other people very excited as well. So I want to know what you are thinking about this as a Star Wars fan. What do you think about the leaks? What do you think about the leakers? The situation we're in now where things are being reshot and changed, or do you think the leakers are totally full of crap? Whatever you're thinking, let me know about that. And when it comes to Kathy Kennedy and Kevin Feige perhaps being in charge of Lucasfilm, what are your thoughts about that? It seems pretty wild to me, but I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. And now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know this crazy rifle that the Mandalorian uses. It showed up once before being used by Boba Fett in some live action Star Wars stuff. I want to know, where does this rifle come from within the Star Wars catalog? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.